Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Mr. Nello's Tiny House for our Tiny Keyboard Theory Lesson number 2. Yesterday we talked about identifying the keys on the keyboard in the musical alphabet of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And we also talked about how to construct a major chord using the formula 4 half steps, then 3 half steps. If you have questions on that, go back and review lesson number 1. Today we're going to continue on, and we're going to talk about taking that major triad, that major chord that we had, and developing an exercise that will help us understand how to construct that in all 12 keys. If you remember yesterday, when I was talking about half steps, I showed you on the keyboard that there were 12 half steps in every octave. And that takes us to that there are 12 different keys that we can have when we're talking about tonality. We can have A major, well, if I'm just talking about major keys, A major, B flat major, B major, C major, D flat or C sharp major, D, so on and so forth. Today we're going to be talking about how we can come up with an exercise to help us learn relatively quickly how to construct those major chords without having to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 all the time, and get some muscle memory going in our hands. Remember yesterday I told you that I wanted you to use your thumb, your middle finger, and your pinky whenever you're playing those chords. And today you're going to figure out why that is so important. So let me tilt this back down so we can see the keyboard a little better. Okay? All right. So, just a quick review. Remember yesterday we talked about finding D was kind of the easiest one because it's in the middle of the 2 black keys in this little garage here. That's D, and then from there we can count down C, B, and A. Okay? Well, we talked about C a lot because C was that easy one that we could go right up the white keys, and we had a major scale without having to use any of the black keys. Okay? So, we're going to start on C today, and we're going to talk about this major chord, this major triad again. Okay? So if I put my thumb on C, right there, is my thumb on C, and I'm going to count up 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put middle finger on that, okay? And then I'm going to count up 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my pinky on that note, and I play that all together at the same time, okay? Now I could play it that way, and I can also play it like that. I can arpeggiate it like that. Okay, so there's 2 different ways you could play that. Now you'll notice that I have C, E, and G. So it's every other letter. Every other letter. I've skipped D, and I've skipped F. And so I have the first note, I have the third note, and the 5th note. So I have the 1st, 3rd, and 5th degrees of the scale. Okay? Now, what we're going to talk about doing today is learning how to play that major chord in all 12 keys in an easy fashion. Giving you an exercise to do that. So, the way we're going to do that is we're going to key everything off of starting on this C chord. And you're going to have to pay close attention to the note that you're playing with your pinky. In this case, it's G. Okay? So I played C, E, G. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is take your hand, and I'm going to ask you to move it up And now play G with your thumb, okay? And then I want you to play a major chord, a major triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I have G, B, and D. Okay? D. Now here's the problem, before I go too far. I've got a full-size keyboard here, 88 keys. Some of you might be playing on a keyboard that's maybe 47 or 44 keys. Some of you might have a real tiny one that's only 24 keys. Some of you might have one that's just a little shy and maybe it's only 76 keys. Anyway, we do this. I would run out of space if I just kept going up and up and up. I'd run out of space. So what we're going to do is I started on C, then I went to G. Now instead of going up and putting my thumb on D, I'm going to go down the octave, and I'm going to put my thumb on D down here. Okay? And then I'm going to play a major chord down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! And notice it's a black key. Okay? 1, 2, 3. A. So I have D, F sharp, A. Now I'm going to go up again. I'm going to put my thumb on A. 1, 2, 3, 4. C sharp. 1, 2, 3. E. Now, like I did last time after I went up once, I'm going to go down again. Now I'm on E, so I'm going to go down the octave, and I'm going to put my thumb on E, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, G sharp, 1, 2, 3, B. Now I'm going to go up, put my thumb on B, 1, 2, 3, 4, D sharp, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, look at this. 2 black keys. B, D sharp, F sharp. And again, instead of going up, I'm going to go down an octave, so I'm going to go down to the F sharp. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. A sharp. 1, 2, 3. C sharp. Ho ho! All black keys. Okay. I'm going to go up, play that C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Remember, we just called this note C sharp. Okay? We could have called it D flat too. Okay? At this point, after I played all 3 black keys on this F sharp major, I find it easiest once we go up that to the next chord to switch over and start calling them flats. Okay? We'll explain later why that is, but just trust me for now. So we're going to call this D flat instead of C sharp. See, here's C, here's D. This note, if I go up, it's C sharp. If I go down from D, it's D flat. We're going to call it D flat. So I have D flat, F, A flat. Okay? Now I'm going to go down the octave to A flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 1, 2, 3, E flat. And then up to E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. 1, 2, 3, B flat. Down the octave to B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, D. 1, 2, 3, F. Oh, now I've got 2 white keys on the top, 1 black key on the bottom. Up to F. 1, 2, 3, 4, A. 1, 2, 3, C. And back down to C. We know C because we did C to start with. So we just made it around all 12 keys. And you notice we started on the 5th of each of the chords. And what we just played is called the circle of fifths. We went around the entire circle of the keys and came back to C. Okay? Now, for those of you who were observant, you might have seen a pattern. Some people will see a pattern. It's all white keys, one black key in the middle, one black key in the middle, one black key in the middle, two black keys on top, all black keys, one white key in the middle, one white key in the middle, one white key in the middle, two black keys on top, all white keys, all white keys. So for those of you who like patterns, that's something that you might want to look at. So here's the exercise that once you start to work through what we just did, might take you a day, might take you a few hours, might take you a couple days. Depends on how quickly you get it. But once you do that, I want you to work on these two things. I want you to work on this exercise. Okay, I arpeggiated each one of the chords, starting with C, going up a fifth, then back down, doing the fifth again, okay? Same pattern. Then I want you to do the same thing, just by blocks, block chords. Oops, sorry, I'm going to do that again. I made a boo-boo. Okay? And practice that. Now, regarding practice, I had a teacher in college, Dr. Young, bless his soul, great guy, had to put up with me trying to learn how to play piano. And he had this 10 pennies on his piano. And you practice something, you know I made a mistake there, right? He had 10 pennies. And every time he played something right, you moved a penny over. Move a penny over. Move a penny over. If you made a mistake, you put a penny back. Put a penny over. Put a penny over. Yeah. Kind of tough, but it really helped. If 10's too many, try 5. Okay? But something. If you make a mistake, it's okay. You're going to make mistakes. What we're really learning here is not only just keyboard theory, but it's also functional piano. And when we went to college, unfortunately, it was the last keyboard class they taught us. Who in their bright mind thought this would be the good class to teach us last? I don't know. It should have been the one they taught us first, because it's the one we learned the most in for those of us who didn't have any piano before we got to college. It's the one we should have had first. I don't know. I hope they changed it since then. That was a gazillion years ago, but I digress. So, your assignment again, arpeggiating the fifths, and then playing them in block fashion, and see how you do. Okay? Until next time, again, stay safe, wash those hands, clean off your keyboard, especially if other people are doing it. Okay? Don't hoard food, don't hoard toilet paper. Enough said. All right. See you next time.